Dual Screens Serperior, Assault Vest Bloodmoon Ursaluna, and Bulk Up Ceruledge was able to get 34th place in the first global challenge of Regulation H. We're going to be trying out this team and seeing how well it can perform. This is Audie's global challenge team. We have Dual Screens Serperior, which is interesting because most of the time when you're running screens, it's usually on a Pokemon like Grimmsnarl because of its prankster ability, able to set up the screens immediately. However, Serperior has some really interesting niche, and that is one of the faster Pokemon in the format, so it can actually set up screens before most attackers are available and get up that screens. And then it also has a really solid speed control in Glare. And Glare is a normal type move that paralyzes opponents, so it actually can hit Pokemon such as Garchomp and other ground types and go for that paralysis, so that can really catch opponents off guard. And then Leaf Storm under the screens, because Serperior, if it's able to be healthy enough after these screens, you can start stacking up the Leaf Storms, which Serperior does need a few boosts in order to actually dish out some meaningful damage. And to pair up with the Serperior and the screens, you have multiple setup Pokemon, and we have the Bulk Up Ceruledge, the Swords Dance Sneasler, and the Focus Energy Hydreigon. So we have the Ceruledge with the Bulk Up, and it's able to be a really nice partner with the Clear Amulets, able to take the Intimidates and not really worry about them, doesn't have to worry about any speed control like Icy Wind or Electro Web speed drop, so that is very nice. It pairs well with Serperior because it is immune to the fire moves thanks to its Flash Fire ability. So can stack up the Bulk Ups under the screens and then go for Bitter Blade to heal back that recovery. Really solid option. Poltergeist, a really strong ghost move. Terra Dark is interesting, is to help out against King Gambit. You can prevent like Prankster Encore from Whimsicott. So there's a lot of things you could do with the Terra Dark Ceruledge, and it's also really nice into size spam. So things like Armrouge Entity combinations, you can ignore the Expanding Force, and you pretty much wall most Armrouges unless they do have a Meteor Beam, but they can only use Meteor Beam once. We also have this Focus Energy Hydreigon, and it's really helpful for Dondozo. It's really nice under the screens because you can crit through a lot of their setup and just take attacks because you have your own screens. You have the Glare speed control because Hydreigon, it's fast, not exactly the fastest, but with that Glare, can outspeed like a Garchomp, for instance. So you can go for like a Glare Draco Meteor. Has a lot of potential, and that Glare can help out against Dondozo as well. A lot of cool tricks you can pull off. The Terra Steel, really good defensive typing. And yeah, you just go for really strong hits with the Dark Pulse and the Draco Meteor after you set up that Focus Energy with that Scope Lens, guaranteeing you a critical hit. So that is very nice. Next, we have the Size Spam mode that you have on your team, or I guess the Psychic Terrain mode. You have the Indity and the Unburdened Sneasler. So you have the Indity, which can be an unpredictable Pokemon, and most opponents might think, oh, this might be Trick Room Indity because there's an Ursaluna Bloodmoon on the team. But there is no Trick Room on this. It's mainly to bluff, so maybe your opponent wastes turns going for Imprison or preventing the Trick Room. But this entity has Protect, which is an interesting move on it because we normally see most entities drop the Protect for Trick Room usually, and because you can catch your opponents off guard, you can bait attacks in the entity, it protects, and then it's actually kind of a bad situation. You also have the Helping Hand, which is able to support the rest of the team in damage output, Psychic, which is nice for Moongus and just other Pokemon in general, and Follow Me specifically to help redirection because you do have a bunch of setup mons, and that Psychic Terrain really does prevent any priority, which is just nice in general. Citrus Berry for recovery, and Terra Grass to help avoid a Moongus and redirect those spores. Next, we have the Unburdened Sneasler with that Psychic Seed and 3 attacks. It's able to do so much damage after a boost from that Swords Dance that it's able to set up, and that Unburdened boost allows Sneasler to be really fast. Even against Pokemon under Tailwind, it can outspeed and rarely threaten. The Terra Dark is a defensive typing against Psychic type moves, but also to help out with that Terra Dark Drill Chop option because it does hit Golden Go, which can be very valuable. Otherwise, Close Combat and Dire Claw are really fantastic offensive options. Finally, the Bloodmoon Ursaluna, which is really interesting. This one actually has speed on the Bloodmoon Ursaluna, and with screens from Serperior, able to take attacks extremely well because it has a really good physical defense stat. The Assault Vest is boosting its special defense, and then under screens, it's able to do a lot of damage with those Hyper Voice, Earth Power, and that Bloodmoon still does a good amount of damage, even without a Life Orb or a Terra Normal. And that Vacuum Wave can also catch opponents off guard and helps against Focus Sash Mons, helps against King Gambit, which can be very nice because since you're Terra Ghost, you are vulnerable to a Sucker Punch potentially. That Vacuum Wave can catch them off guard, especially if you don't bring the Entity, which would stop the Vacuum Wave otherwise. But This Ursaluna just does a lot of damage, can take attacks, especially with screens. It's really supposed to be a mon that's able to slow down your opponent while taking the knockouts after weakened Pokemon, or just chip away your opponent for a Pokemon in the back. If you'd like to check out the details of the team and the creator as well as their team report, because Audi does make some great content in general, especially with team reports, you could go check him out down below in the description and go check out the details of him building this team. Arcanine, Rillaboom, Hawlucha, Milotic, Excadrill, and Tyranitar. Well, Hawlucha's interesting. Sand is not great for Ceruledge. This is going to be an interesting one because Hawlucha is actually a super big threat to this team. Unironically, it is actually a very big threat to this team. How am I playing around it? I think I'm bringing Ceruledge with Superior lead, because if they lead Hawlucha with Rillaboom, Ceruledge should be good against it at least. I do want to bring Ursaluna, which is good against their team. Last Pokemon's probably the Sneasler because it's better offensively. Inity could have been helpful for the terrain, but not really. I don't think I need my Psychic terrain in this matchup. Terra-wise, I'm not sure on who's going to be the Terra. Is it going to be Tyranitar in this matchup? If they even bring it, because I think Hawlucha is really, really good against me. But I also think like the Tyranitar on their team is probably going to be brought. Maybe no Excadrill. No Excadrill would make sense because I have Psychic Seed on the Sneasler, so they probably don't even bring Excadrill because they would just get outsped and dress my close combat. Unless they have a specific Terra to play around it, sure. Like Terra Ghost would not be fun for me to play with. Let's see. It's tough. It's just tough. Luckily, Arcanine, I'm not really too concerned about at the moment, but I'm kind of curious on its set. Is it going to be support Arcanine? Is it going to be offensive? Is there going to be like an Assault Vest? There's so many sets that Arcanine could really run. We'll find out. Interesting to see Arcanine though. Gonna see the lead. Oh, that is Arcanine Hawlucha. Okay. Versus Superior and the Ceruledge. So I imagine in most cases I get a bulk up here with Ceruledge pretty freely. I think I'm just going to attempt to reflect here because Hawlucha should probably be adamant. And if it's adamant, it's going to be slower than Superior if I'm not mistaken. So I will go for reflect and I will go for bulk up here. They're going to go out into, it looks like the Rillaboom. Oh, that's Tyranitar. I thought it'd be Rillaboom, but okay, that works. I thought, okay, so I should get a guaranteed reflect up, which is good for my Ceruledge. Reflect, going to come out. And what are you doing with Hawlucha? Oh, you have Taunt, huh? It definitely changes the dynamic here a bit. All right. Can't go for the bulk up here. So it's a support of Hawlucha. All right, interesting. This bit of sand. The question is, do I want to click Glare? Do I want to click Leaf Storm? There's a lot I could do here. I think my play is probably to go into Sneasler here. I think this is Terra Flying and Knockoff. I do want to click Glare. The question is, who am I glaring? Probably want to glare. I want to glare to Hawlucha. Can't protect after the taunt. I do want to swap here. Probably in the Sneasler because I could get him burdened after the knockoff. I think I glare the... I want to glare to Hawlucha. Let's see. Let us see. I don't think they Brave Bird double up my Ceruledge. They could if they want to, but I don't really see it. Let's bring out the Sneasler. They detect the Hawlucha. Ah, I could have glared the Tyranitar. Okay, that's fine. Is this knockoff? I imagine it's knockoff then. I don't think I need light screen up in this game. They go for the knockoff. It is into the Sneasler, which is perfect. Okay. Is it my Psychic Seed? All right, now I have the Unburden unlocked, which is really nice. I don't think I'm gonna waste time glaring now. I think now I'm just gonna go on the offense. I'm gonna click Dire Claw and I'm just gonna click Leaf Storm. I don't know if they're gonna swap out an Arcanine. That's definitely a play that they have for either slot realistically. So that's why I don't really want to play too I don't want to fall for like a close combat and a Terra flying. Arcanine could come in for either slot. We do see the Tyranitar switch, which makes sense into Arcanine, I'd imagine. Unless they want to go real. Oh, they actually went Rillaboom, which I'm surprised by, but that works. All right, who's faster, the Sneasler or the Hawlucha? I guess we'll find out together, because I have no clue. It depends on their speed investment, I suppose. They do get the defense boost. Dire Claw going to come out. That is. Gotta love Dire Claw, man. But that is the risk. Leaf Storm. Oh, I missed the Hawlucha, actually. That's not great. Because it wasn't probably pick up the knockout even in grassy terrain, but that extra damage would have been actually really nice. All right. I don't really need to knock on a Hawlucha though, I think. The idea here is probably just to get... Actually, I don't need damage on Rillaboom either if I'm trying to clean up for... Do I want the damage into Rillaboom? Because Rillaboom's really annoying for my Ursaluna endgame. I guess both of these are, technically. I wouldn't mind going for the Dire Claw here in the Leaf Storm. If they fake out, that's fine. The reason I'm okay with this trade-off, especially because they already took a turn of sleep, is mainly because I don't mind spreading the damage across for Ceruledge to clean up in an endgame scenario. I think that'd be pretty good. I just don't know who I'm going to Terra in my endgame, because I don't want to Terra either of these Pokemon in the lead, because there's really no difference in me Terraing here. And I don't really like my Terra options in the back either. So I think I'm just going to try to get damage across and see what the best endgame potential Terra is. Because Terra Water doesn't help Serperior. They go for Fake Out. It does hard to Sneasler, which is fine. Okay. They stay asleep for another turn. Okay, let's see if Leaf Storm gets it with another Chip of Sand. Yeah, okay, perfect. Good damage. And Hawlucha is going to go down in another turn. So... not bad, not bad. If they don't wake up, they don't get a KO at all, which is kind of massive. I don't need a screen up. Yeah, there's no reason to get a screen up. Do I want to save? Do I want to save the Sneasler? Not really. It could come in handy though, because I could go Ceruledge now. You know what? I'd rather just attempt to Dire Claw to Rillaboom, and I think I'm just going to go for a Leaf Storm into the Rillaboom as well. Because we know that Hawlucha is going to faint. They actually just forfeit the game, which I do think that this is kind of winnable for them. They didn't see my last Pokemon, and they did have Terra. It's not like they burned their Terra. I think the game was very winnable for them, but that is just parts of the Dire Claw. I'm kind of curious on what they did, and like if it was even going to KO to reflect. Pelipper, Arcalodon, Amoonguss, Basculegion, Kingambit, and Sneasler. If I'm not mistaken, this is the same 6 that Riley brought to the Louisville Regional Championship and was able to get top 4. So I probably would expect the same sets here. Rain's a little bit scary. I don't exactly have the best Rain matchup, but we'll figure it out. I do think that I want to lead a Serperior. Probably Serperior plus Bloodmoon is probably okay. Yeah, it should be all right. The Pelipper was not Sash on the team because it was Sash Sneasler. I don't know if they're leading Sneasler. We'll figure it out. I don't know if I want to bring Hydreigon into this. Probably not. It's like usable though. There's a lot I could bring instead. Swords Dance. Actually, Swords Dance U is pretty good. Swords Dance on Sneasler is pretty good. Maybe I set it up for that endgame. I think that's probably what I try to set up for the endgame. Hydreigon's not bad either, but the problem with Hydreigon is their own Sneasler is a bit of a pain. So let's see what we can accomplish here. I don't know if they're going to lead Rain right away or if they're going to lead something like the Sneasler plus Kingambit, which would be scary, but I do have my Sneasler plus the other options in the back. We're going to see the Pelipper lead actually. Okay. Versus the Bloodmoon Ursaluna and the Serperior. All right. Scary options right here. I should live a Wave Crash. If I Terra. Do I want to Terra is the question. I don't really need Terra on the Sneasler in this matchup. I think I'm just going to go for the Glare into the Pelipper, and I think I am going to go for the Blood Moon Terra Ghost. Because they could flip turn out the Ursaluna, for instance. If I get the KO on Pelipper, I'm in a good spot. This is assuming they didn't change items, though. But I will play it like the original set. So if I get the Glare off into a Blood Moon, I KO the Pelipper. That's a really big threat to Serperior out of the way. They also retreat the Basculegion, which is incredible. Okay. Amoonguss? I will gladly take that. They were scared of like Protect Leaf Storm probably. So that's so ideal for me. Granted, I did have to use my Terra, so it's not like amazing, but it's definitely a not bad spot. All right. Bring out the Terra Ghost. I guess the question is it the Gambit in back? So we Glare, paralyze the Pelipper. Ursaluna is now faster than the Pelipper, guaranteed. Blood Moon going to come out into that Pelipper. Should nuke it. Yep. All right. Not a bad turn. Not a bad turn. And now if they go Basculegion, I probably want to reflect, right? Do I expect Last Respect to KO? I guess the question. Archaludon comes in, surprisingly. Okay. They are probably Terra Grass, but I think that's all right. I think I'm going to set up my light screen for sure. They have very limited turns of rain to work with. I think I would just want to Hyper Voice the Amoonguss, or Earth Power the Amoonguss, because I do need damage into Amoonguss. Yeah, I'm just going to Earth Power the Amoonguss. They are going to Terra. If this is Terra Grass, that's fine. I don't give them stamina boost and set up for my Sneasler. I think Sneasler wins in the end game once I get rid of Amoonguss, so I think that's the win con I'll try to go for. So they bring out the Archaludon. So what I need to do is weaken the Amoonguss, and I need Glare off into the Archaludon, which I'll go for the next turn probably. You go for Electroshot to charge up. This might be a Spore into Ursaluna, which is fine. All right. Because I don't really mind my Ursaluna too much. Earth Power into Amoonguss. I need to chip into Amoonguss. It's pretty important for the upcoming parts. They do Spore. Yep. All right. I could have glared my Ursaluna, I guess, to avoid the Spore, but I had taken a lot from Electroshot, so I don't think that was worth it. I'm going to glare the Archaludon, and I'm just going to Earth Power the Amoonguss. If they want to go for Clear Smogs, if they want to go for Pollen Puffs, that's fine by me. I think Basculegion's hard switch would be the only one I'm concerned about, but I think they're just... Wow, they actually made the hard switch. Good play on their part. I almost did Leaf Storm, but I'd rather just get the Glare off into the Archaludon just for safety. I do get the Glare off. Okay, we do get that Paralysis. Ursaluna will be asleep for this turn, and they went for Electroshot again. Which is interesting because I felt like if you're switching Basculegion, you want damage on the Serperior to put on pressure, but I guess not. They target down my Ursaluna again, which is fine. I'm just going to go for a Leaf Storm into Basculegion, and I'm going to go for a Blood Moon. It should be flip turn. I know I'm a Assault Vest though, but I don't have a switch. Yeah, no, this is probably still better anyway. Just gonna stack up the Leaf Storms if I can. All I really need... They do Heart Swap here, which is actually good for me if I wake up, because I get good damage to Amoonguss with the Blood Moon. Okay. Amoonguss comes in, I get a Leaf Storm off, start boosting up the special attack, as we're doing very pitiful damage, but we do need it to set up. Unfortunately, we stay asleep, which is super unfortunate. Paralysis? They have not got paralyzed this entire game, unfortunately. But it's still alright. Okay. Alright, Ursaluna goes down. Acceptable. They're gonna get paralyzed eventually, right? Alright, we go out into Inity. Also, the rain's been around for a long time. They switched the item to Damp Rock over Covert Cloak? I have no clue if they did. No, this is the last turn. Okay. I think I always just Leaf Storm the Amoonguss. The question is, do I want to protect or do I want to Psychic? I think I protect the Sneasler this turn. Or protect the Entity, because that means they can't Electro Shot to pick up a knockout. Amoonguss is kind of trapped in. I don't know if they're going to lock themselves into Clear Smog. If they're going to Spore the Entity attempt, that's also another consideration. That's also fine. At this rate, I might have to bank off of Paralysis because it's been a slower progress than I thought. But then again, Ursaluna did take like 3 turns of sleep. Leaf Storm. We're +4. Electro Shot again. They have not. I mean, I'd rather them get the Electro Shot off into Entity this turn than moving the next turn. Yeah, Entity stays asleep. Unless they Spored again. Did they? Oh, they did Clear Smog. Okay. Acceptable. Rain stops, so that's important for Basculegion in the later parts of the game. Gonna go for the Leaf Storm. Gonna go for the Psychic into the Amoonguss. I do need to get rid of this Amoonguss. And hopefully I'm able to, because if I don't get the Psychic knockout here, I think I'm actually in a really bad spot. So it also comes down to, I think, the Arcalon, because it's been moving like 4 turns in a row. Which has been pretty bad. If I got Bloodmoon off earlier, I'd be able to set. I would have been able to just click Psychic and probably been fine. We're gonna get a Leaf Storm off. How much does Psychic do? Hopefully a good amount. Not enough. I will need 1 out of 2 Paralysis probably on the Arcalon. They get a Flash Cannon off. They target down the Serperior, pick up the knockout. A Pollen Puff. Wait, Pollen Puff is okay. It's an interesting spot. I bring out the Sneasler with the Psychic Seed, so I'd be able to maybe survive an Arcalon attack. I can't tell. I'm just gonna go for a Swords Dance, and I'm gonna go for a Psychic into the Amoonguss slot. I don't know if Amoonguss hard swaps to the Basculegion or if they Rage Powder because they're really fearful of the Dire Claw, but I do need Arcalon to probably get paralyzed this turn. I think if it gets paralyzed this turn, I do win the game. So we'll see. They already used their Terra. I don't have to worry about Terra Water. Amoonguss. Yeah, it's been a long battle. I'm really hoping for the Psychic KO into Amoonguss because that would be super ideal. They Rage Powder because they're fearful of Dire Claw. Perfect. Okay, so I did get the Sword Stance up, which is really crucial because that allows me to KO Basculegion as well as the Arcalon. So Psychic into Amoonguss picks up the knockout. Great. It's been so long for that Amoonguss. Its time was done. Huh. Okay. They went for Draco Meteor. They went for it into the Entity though. Also, they changed the team because Riley does not like Draco Meteor. We know how he loves his non-inaccurate moves. But this works out. We see Basculegion come in. I feel like you shouldn't have Throat Chop, but I think my best odds are the Paralysis anyway on the Arcalon. So I'm going to go for Throat Chop into Basculegion to try and pick up that knockout. Because Wave Crash probably picks up the knockout. Draco Meteor, I'm not sure. I guess we'll find out. It is +1 Sneasler against +2 Arcalon. Finally. +1. Yeah, it was +2. So I don't know. Maybe I could have lived a Draco Meteor depending on the investment. But yeah, now I win, I think, with Dire Claw. I'm assuming I KO'd the Arcalon with a +2. But yeah. Like, the fact I got 3 turns sleep and they just kept attacking like 5 turns in a row through Paralysis is absurd. They also had the chance to take the knockout into my Sneasler when they could have clicked Draco'd earlier, but they did not. So we will take that win. We will take that win. Not the prettiest, especially because Amoonguss was, again, really annoying, especially next to Rain, because I couldn't set up Ceruledge. If I was able to get a Ceruledge plan against Amoonguss, it's not too bad, but the fact that they have Rain plus like all these offensive tools that like Ceruledge doesn't like, it was just so hard to bring it. And that meant I was a lot weaker to Amoonguss other than just clicking Psychic. Or getting a Blood Moon off if I woke up, you know? Ursaluna with Indeedee, Executor, Torkoal, the Gallade, and Zoroark. Huh. Gonna be an interesting game. I do have Terra Dark Ceruledge, which is really good for the most part against this kind of team. There are threats though, like the Ursaluna as well as the Zoroark. I do like Serperior a lot in this matchup, so I do think I bring Serperior. Do I bring Hydreigon? Hydreigon's nice. I don't know if it's really necessary. I think I'm gonna bring Serperior plus... Let's see, I want to bring Ursaluna. I probably want to bring Ceruledge. Dude, I don't think I bring Sneasler in this. It's not bad, but it's not like amazing either. Maybe Indeedee. Indeedee's okay too. I think I'll just lead Serperior plus, don't really Torkoal right off the bat, or Blood Moon. I think it's probably Blood Moon lead with Ceruledge and Indeedee in the back. Hydreigon's not bad in this matchup, but I don't think it's... I don't want to bring Hydreigon here mainly because I feel like Ceruledge setup is just a better game plan overall than like bring Hydreigon, which is decent against their team, right? Because I do have to levitate for the Ursaluna, the ability to hit them really hard with Dark Pulse, but I just don't think it's ever worth the hassle of setting it up because I think Ceruledge is a lot safer. Into the Ursaluna, do you lead this? I feel like this might be Zoroark, but we'll find out, I suppose. We do have an Assault Vest Ursaluna, so I think we're completely fine in taking Zoroark attack. We know that the Indeedee is real. Okay. I think I'm just gonna get my Reflect up. Gonna go for Reflect and probably just go for a Hyper Voice. I kind of want a Blood Moon really badly there, Ursaluna. You know what? I'm going to Blood Moon to Ursaluna. We see a Terra involved, which is strange. I guess they were attack aggressively with the Ursaluna, right? Stellar Terra. Oh, this is Zoroark, right? Because it shouldn't be Ursaluna then. Okay, that's fine. I'm okay with that. Because I get to Reflect up for the Ursaluna, which is actually a really big deal. Because the Ursaluna in the back is what I'm really scared of. It's Hyper Voice. That's fine. You take a lot, actually. All right. Here comes Leaf Storm, picking up the knock on to the Zoroark. I kind of wish I just Hyper Voice and clicked. I mean, I do want to Reflect here, so I'd still be preferring to Reflect, but I do wish I clicked Hyper Voice. Zoroark eliminated. All right. I kind of was wondering if they were just regular Ursaluna, but then again, you wouldn't leave the Ursaluna out in front of Leaf Storm plus Blood Moon, so that definitely was a mistake on my part. Shurikem's going to go up, which is fine. Gallade gonna come in. Okay. I'm pretty sure, like, what? I could Glare here, which is... Well, they don't have Torkoal in the back. That's a thing to note. I think my play is just to always Leaf Storm the Gallade and swap into Indeedee. Because I don't know if they're going to go for a Psycho Cut on a read or if they're going to go for a Sacred Sword. I think you always Psycho Cut if you have... I don't remember what the Gallade set was because I don't remember the details of this team. It is the team that got top 4 at the regional. So we're going to see Psychic. Does that pick up the knockout? I'm okay if it does. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah. And it's just Sacred Sword. Okay, so I could have went aggressive and went Ceruledge, but I just did not want to risk it. All right. Perfectly fine. Perfectly fine. We get to go Ceruledge. We get to go for bulk ups. We haven't Terra'd yet, so I do want to save my Terra. We're gonna go for bulk up, and I'm just gonna protect the Indeedee, I think. Yeah, I'm just gonna protect the Entity and click bulk up. I don't know if you're gonna Psycho Cut immediately. You might Psychic for sure, but I have no idea if you're gonna attack the Entity because I could reverse Trick Room and that's something you might not want. You go for Psychic, okay. Ah, they did Psycho Cut. I do hang on, which is pretty important. I do get the bulk up. All right, this is not awful though. This is not awful because I can follow me and Bitter Blade this upcoming turn, or I could bulk up again if I really, really want to. But I think I'd rather just Bitter Blade for the recovery. Yeah, I'm gonna Bitter Blade for the recovery. I'm gonna Bitter Blade the. I think I Bitter Blade the Gallade always, and I click Follow Me. Is there a Terra that helps me here? No, Terra Psychic. Terra Grass is bad here. I could obviously just go for the Terra Dark if I really, really want to, but I'd rather save it for the last moment against the Ursaluna. Sacred Sword. Okay, we're actually slower than Entity, which is interesting. Bitter Blade does a really good amount of damage to Gallade, by the way. That's a really good amount of damage. Okay. Oh, they Trick Room. Interesting, because they want to reset Trick Room turns for the Ursaluna. Interesting. Does Helping Hand Bitter Blade KO the Entity? It might? Question mark? They're almost out of Psychic Terrain turns, right? Yeah, this is the last turn of Psychic Terrain. I think it's definitely worth going for the Helping Hand and Bitter Blade into the Entity here. I don't know if Gallade protects, but that's fine because it is probably in Vacuum Wave range. You go for Follow Me, probably to reset the Trick Room. I guess I probably don't want the Knockout then in the Gallade then. Bitter Blade going to come out. Yeah, it doesn't KO the Entity, but I get the recovery, which is fantastic. Yeah, I get all that recovery back, which is incredible. Gallade gets to go for Trick Room. Yeah, that's fine. I guess the question is, are you hard switching Ursaluna or not is going to be a good question. Because I think that's what I'm mostly scared of. I think I always just Bitter Blade the Gallade this turn. Like, you might be thinking I could go for double protect, but I just don't think it's ever worth it. I think I just protect my Entity and I Bitter Blade. Because Psycho Cut Psychic is not doing nearly enough damage currently on the field. You go for Psychic, which is fine. They probably doubled up with Psycho Cut again, but without the Psychic Terrain, it's a lot weaker. Oh, they Sacred Sword this time. Interesting. Okay. I mean, that works out for me. I get a free Bitter Blade off into the Gallade. Pick up that Knockout in the Gallade, which is huge. And now it's Ursaluna versus the world, and I'm pretty sure I'm, like, really okay with this. Yeah, I'm, like, really okay with this. Because this is going to be Ursaluna. Yep. I don't know if they have Earthquake, but I don't see a problem with going for my Terra Dark now. Going for the Terra Dark Helping Hand. Yeah, just Helping Hand Bitter Blade the Ursaluna. Because I don't think Entity can pick up the Knockout into my Entity with Psychic because there's no terrain. So I'm pretty sure that I'm always just safe to go for the Helping Hand. Like, the Protect on Ursaluna might be... I think they got to take advantage because if they play passive, I think they lose because Trick Room's going to get stalled out and then my own Ursaluna is going to sweep from there. I'm pretty sure. So I don't think they can afford to play passive. I think they have to take a KO here with their Ursaluna because the Entity can't pick up a Knockout. They can go for Follow Me too. That's fine. It doesn't really change too much. Did they Earthquake here though? Or did they Facade? They Facade the Entity, which is fine. Okay. So Entity goes down, but I'm pretty sure I'm a-okay here. Bitter Blade gonna take the Knockout into the Entity. Get a little bit of recovery. I don't know if they probably knock out my Ceruledge with a plus, or not plus one, but a Facade, even though I'm plus one. But they can't take the Knockout on both my Ursaluna and my Ceruledge at the same time, which is a big deal. So I go out into Ursaluna. Are you gonna Terra Ghost here? They didn't Terra yet, right? Oh no, they Terra the Zoroark like really early in the game. I mean, I just Bitter Bladed. Bloodmoon, right? There really is no downside. They could Earthquake, but that's fine. I get all the HP back, and then it's only 2 turns of Trick Room remaining. Yeah, I also have Reflect up, so actually with the Reflect, I probably should easily tank the attack. So yeah, I'm just gonna go for Bloodmoon. If they Protect, that's fine, because they sell out their own Trick Room turns. Yeah, they go for Facade. They tar down the Ursaluna. A-okay by me. Bitter Blade gonna connect with the Ursaluna. Probably should be a 2-shot, and if not, the Burns will stack up. Yeah. The Burns will stack up. All I have to do is protect on this last turn of Trick Room, and then Trick Room will expire. The Bitter Blade will be able to connect. Ursaluna is also taking burn damage, so even if it was a roll previously, it's not going to be a roll anymore. We get the Reflect wears off, but this is the last turn of Trick Room. We click Protect on the Ceruledge, and then stall out this Trick Room, and then Speed Order reverse. GG. Unless I'm mistaking something here, but I don't think so. There's also a chance, because we got back to full HP, that Ceruledge might be able to live a Facade from the Ursaluna. In some case, that for some reason that happens, but realistically, Bitter Blade should pick up the knockout into the Ursaluna. So very nice, very nice. Okay, perfect. We were able to set up a really good Ceruledge endgame as I was anticipating. We got a few calls wrong, but overall, as long as we were able to set up Ceruledge in a healthy spot, we had that position. Stalling out Psychic Terrain was also really helpful because it just really limited their damage output. And because we were stalling out those terrains in turns where they weren't able to do that much damage, I was just in a really good spot to just set, or just to stall out, do a lot of damage while healing back. And then once the Ursaluna came in, it just was like too late because they weren't able to get it in safely. Stonejourner, Lucario, Dragapult, Murkrow, Primarina, Rillaboom. Okay, what am I dealing with here? Stonejourner. Huh. I do like the... Okay, so I like Serperior a lot. Serperior is good. It's good in the Primarina. Screens is going to be good. Jeez, like I'm trying to figure out like what am I supposed to anticipate here. I do want to bring Serperior. Ceruledge is good. I don't know if I want to lead it, but I think it's a pretty tempting lead as long as it's not Terraghost Terra Blast. Yeah, I think it's probably all right. And then in the back, this is where it gets tough. I do like Bloodmoon Ursaluna. Do I like Sneasler? Probably. It's good in a Rillaboom. It's good in a Lucario. It's good in a Primarina. I think it's my best option. Like, not bringing Entity means that Sneasler's more vulnerable, but I think it's okay. I'm just curious on how these Dragapult numbers are going to add up with Stonejourner, because I don't exactly have anything that outspeeds. So Outrage is actually a very big concern. Murkrow, Dragapult. All right. So I will go for Reflect, and I'll go straight. I can't knock out with Poltergeist if they Terra Dragon. But I do need the damage immediately, so I am just going to go for the Poltergeist. Let's see. Could be Terra Dragon, Dragon Darts, switch into Stonejourner. They could Tailwind. They could go for Outrage if they really want to. Should I have Glared? No, and I can't really Protect and Glare because of the pressure of a Dragon Dart's double redirect here. So we are going to see the Terra. Gonna be the Dragapult. It's kind of a problem with teams that don't really have as much speed here because I don't have any speed control other than Sneasler, and they have Tailwind too. Dragon Dart's gonna come out, okay. Oh, did they foul play immediately? Oh, they foul played immediately, didn't they? That also did so much. All right, Reflect goes up. Foul play. Yeah, I had no option for my lead. I literally had no option for my lead. I'm gonna go Blood Moon here, but yeah, I have to Blood Moon the... I mean, the game's not over by far, but that's not a great start. I'm gonna glare to Murkrow, and I'm just gonna Blood Moon the Dragapult. Not really too much to say. Should I have light screened here? Maybe. If I get a glare off into Murkrow, though, I do think it's pretty good. They go for the Tailwind, which is fine. This is Dragon Darts. This is still doing a lot of damage even to Reflect. Ursaluna took it well. Serperior probably not as... Come on, man. I already have a bad matchup into a really down position. This game really likes to beat you when you're down. Dragapult goes down. I think I'm losing the Primarina. I mean, there's a world I can beat Primarina because I did bring the Sneasler. If Moonblast into Foul Play doesn't pick up the knockout, maybe. They already used their Terra, so they can't use the defensive Terra. I have not used my Terra yet. I just don't know if I want to. Lucario comes in. Okay. Maybe it's doable. Okay. Time to Dire Claw. Time to Terra Ghost because I can't really afford a close combat. I think I Hyper Voice. Because I'm hoping for Vacuum Wave KO afterward. Yeah, let's see. I kind of have to pull out a surprise here. I don't know if Earth Power is correct because if I Earth Power the Lucario, I'm worried about their free swap. So I think I'd rather just keep the Lucario on the field if I'm not mistaken. You go for Aura Spear, that's great. I also really want damage on this Murkrow. They Foul Play the Sneasler actually. Okay, that's actually pretty good. Alright, Dire Claw, can we get a status? Poison, okay. Hyper Voice gonna come out. Okay. Maybe there's a world, maybe. I don't think Vacuum Wave KO. I don't know. That Hyper Voice was pretty strong, but I just don't believe Vacuum Wave is just such a weak move, though. It's an 80 base power here. I'm thinking of going for the Swords Dance here in a Vacuum. I could Vacuum Wave to Murkrow, but the question is, does actually Flash Cannon shouldn't KO Sneasler, right? I guess that's what I go for. I go for Vacuum Wave into the Murkrow. And then Flash Cannon shouldn't pick up KOs. Oh, Lucario switches out. Is it Specs? Rillaboom comes in. All right. This is an interesting end game because they gave me the terrain healing this turn. Murkrow goes down. Close combat's going to do a lot of damage to the Rillaboom. Unfortunately, Sneasler is gonna get threatened. All right. I don't know. That game actually is playable. I think the game is playable, assuming. I'm trying to think of what position I have here. They used their Terra already. If Lucario wanted to hard swap, that probably means that it's choice locked, and if it's choice locked, maybe there's a shot. I think they need 2 hits to KO the... I think they need 2 hits to KO my Ursaluna, so I think I always just Dire Claw the Rillaboom. I think I Hyper Voice, because if they want to pick up a knockout, they have to double up the Ursaluna with Woodhammer, right? And if they double up the Ursaluna with Woodhammer, that means they take recoil, Hyper Voice KOs the Rillaboom, and then Lucario's in range of Vacuum Wave. I think that's correct. I don't think there's a world where you fake out here. Steel Beam. Oh, Assault Vest is so clutch. Assault Vest is so clutch. Okay. Woodhammer. Sneasler also hangs on, so they also lost on that anyway. Unless it's Scarf Lucario, but I'm pretty sure it's Specs. Dire Claw gonna knock out the Rillaboom and I Hyper Voice KO to Lucario. What is this game? I thought it was like over. I thought it was literally over on the crit on Serperior. Goodbye, Lucario. I really thought it was over on the crit on Serperior because I was like, okay, I don't get any. I already am down to my final 2 resources. Got the Terra Ghost with the Ursaluna, was able to bring down the Murkrow, which was massive. They gave me a lot of damage for free. I think it is Specs Lucario locked in Aura Sphere, so they want to retreat, but played aggressive and it worked out. I am still shocked we were able to win that game. I'm still super shocked. Whimsicott, Hisuian Typhlosion, the Annihilate, Ursaluna, Bloodmoon, Incineroar, and Indeedee Male. Looks like Tailwind offense here. Okay. I don't know what the Annihilate item is, but Scarf would be pretty scary. We do have Terradark Ceruledge, which is actually really good in this matchup. It is really good. I think I'm probably leading Serperior. Serperior plus... Am I going Serperior plus Bloodmoon? It's tricky because they do have the Typhlosion, which I have to be concerned about. I think this is probably the best lead. Yeah, Serperior plus Ursaluna I think makes the most sense. I could lead Sneasler plus Indeedee as well in this matchup, and it wouldn't be bad either. The only problem with that, I guess it's not that big. Well, the thing is, then they can still fire off Terrafire Heat Wave, so it's not a reliable plan either. Yeah, I think I want to have Ceruledge in the back and probably Sneasler. Hydreight's not a bad option, but I don't think it's really that great against Tailwind offense when I don't know if I'm going to be able to get rid of Whimsicott early. We do have a lot of problems in this matchup because Hisuian Typhlosion's scary. There's the Force of Terra potentially. I don't know if they're going to click Sunny Day Eruption immediately, which is my big concern because that might knock out my Bloodmoon in one shot, and that would not be a great deficit to come out to. Granted, I will go for the swap into my Ceruledge if they do lead it, or the Serperior slot at least. Problem is I'm not bringing Protect either. Like, I have no mons with Protect, so maybe this is not going to work out well. Gonna be a lead of Incineroar. Annihilate is fine. Okay. I definitely just want a safe Reflect here. I think this is just a Reflect and go out into Sneasler. I'm pretty sure Sneasler's like the Pokemon I probably need the least in this game. Ursaluna has a lot of value. Final Gambit's really good, so I will save my Ursaluna if I need to and just go out into my Sneasler, because this could be like Drain Punch, Close Combat, Knockoff. All those moves are pretty common here, so I think it makes a lot of sense. We get a Reflect up. We're gonna see Ice Punch into Serperior. That's Choice Band, right? Or they crit. Okay. At least I survived the turn. If I got knocked out because of the Ice Punch in the U-turn, I would have been pretty upset, but not the worst. Whimsicott coming in, which is not too surprising. I think I'm just gonna swap out into my Ceruledge, and I'm just gonna go for a Dire Claw into the Whimsicott. Because I might as well keep Serperior around, right? Because it's actually fast. So this could be an Incineroar swap, but I think that's okay. Ceruledge comes in. They do retreat back into Incineroar, looks like. Smart on them. They go for a Ghost move now. They also risk the Dire Claw status, so I'm definitely very happy if that happens. The Amulet prevents me from the Intimidate. Dire Claw. Poison, nice. So we're able to get some consistent chip damage across the board. Ice Punch again. All right. Okay. I don't mind that turn. It actually works out pretty well for me. I think I go for a Bulk Up here. Bulk Up Close Combat seems pretty safe here. I'm pretty sure I knock out the Incineroar at that range at -1. If not, the Poison will get it. I lose my Clear Amulet, but I don't think it's that big of a deal because I'll get a... Because even if I take a knockoff, I have Reflect, and then I should outspeed the Incineroar and get the +1 boost. I guess if Whimsicott comes in afterward, it's probably okay because they still can't pressure my side. If it's Ice Punch Annihilate but not Bulk Up, it makes it a lot easier. We get the Close Combat KO and Incineroar, which is super ideal. And again, we haven't hit the Annihilate yet, and because we haven't hit the Annihilate, there's no Rage Fist boost on deck. I don't know how they're doing damage. Yeah, they go for Rage Fist, but this is a 50 base power Rage Fist. As you can see, Ceruledge absolutely tanks. We get a Bulk Up off. Okay, nice. I do want to Dire Claw the Whimsicott. If I get a status, I'm in a good spot. Yeah, because they're going to go Whimsicott. Probably Encore Lock my Ceruledge, which is fine. Yeah, I'm just going to go for a Protect and a Dire Claw. Because I don't see how they punish my Sneasler here. Even if they double up the Sneasler and take the knockout, that's fine. We're going to see a Terra involved here. So I wonder if this is Terra on the Whimsicott for Terra Water. That's fine. That means you can't defensive Terra your Ceruledge. Terra Ghost. Okay. I do not mind that. All right, we protect our Ceruledge. Also, if we get this sleep, we do win. But yeah, they do Encore, try to trap in my Ceruledge. Makes sense. Dire Claw into the Whimsicott. Okay. Ice Punch going to come out into Sneasler. As you can see, really not doing any damage. I'm going to go hard into Serperior, and I'm just going to click Drill Chop into the Whimsicott now. They could read my switch and just go for Tailwind, but again, Annihilate's not putting on enough pressure here. If Serperior goes down, that's completely fine. Serperior's gotten the Reflect up, which is basically what I needed for this game. They go for Encore again. Nice. So we get a guaranteed Drill Chop off. All right, awesome. They go for Close Combat. They also lower the defenses, which is nice because now I can actually bring out my Ceruledge and I can actually go on the offense and go for Poltergeist and Drill Chop if I want. Do I want to double though is the question. I do want to go Ceruledge. The question is, do I want to double the Annihilate slot? Because I definitely can. Because if I think it's Focus Sash, that actually might be what it is. Yeah, I think I'm definitely going to go for Poltergeist plus a Dire Claw into the Annihilate. Actually, there is one downside to that. No, actually, no, I don't think that's the play. I think it's always just Drill Chop the Whimsicott again and Poltergeist. Even if it's Focus Sash, I have a way to play around it. I don't think I could, like, if they Moonblast here, for instance, I go for the Dire Claw. They get a Rage Fist boost. I don't think the Rage Fist should knock out, but I'm worried if Moonblast plus Rage Fist actually does pick up the knockout onto Ceruledge. So I don't think I risk that. I think I always just Drill Chop. I bring the Whimsicott, I bring the Annihilate to Sash, and then Vacuum Wave can clean up. So where you see the swap into Ursaluna, which is, oh boy, we'll see. They can't use Hyper Voice this turn or the upcoming turns. Final Gambit, huh? Okay, I do not mind that. I do not mind that. Okay, I'm pretty happy about that turn, I'd say. Poltergeist gonna fail. Also, it's Final Gambit without was it Assault Vest? I guess it had to be Assault Vest. I'm okay with the trade though. I do get in my Ursaluna. With that Assault Vest, we'll easily tank one attack. All right, Whimsicott comes back in. We can still lose the game, which is a bit scary, but I am just going to go for a Bitter Blade into the Whimsicott, and I am just going to throw off the Bloodmoon into the Ursaluna. I don't know if they're going to Tailwind or not. They actually go for a Moonblast, which is smart. Okay. Special attack drop's really bad. I do KO the Whimsicott. All right. I mean, I think I do win the game if I survive Bloodmoon here. We'll find out if we do, but Whimsicott goes down. We did take a special attack drop. Air faster than mine. Okay. I should... Yeah, I do hang on. Yeah. And then we get a Bloodmoon back. Yeah, that should guarantee the win. We also have Vacuum Wave as well, so we can Bitter Blade Vacuum Wave, and they don't have a win con. Ooh. Okay. Scary. Scary. Thankfully, their Annihilate was kind of not really doing too much, which was pretty big because we didn't give it a position to stack on the Rage Fist. I mean, they had Whimsicott plus Annihilate. I'm not sure if they're beat up. But actually, now that I think about it, I did play very bold into like them not being beat up combinations. So like I was expecting the Encore locks more, but I guess it did end up working out because they never clicked beat up. So it did work out. Ursaluna Typhlosion Hisui, the Archaludon, Dragonite, Pelipper, Farigiraf. Why is there a... Is this Sunny Day Scale Shot Dragonite? Why is there a Typhlosion on this team? Alright. Not exactly too sure about this, but lead-wise, I'm pretty good with Serperior plus Hydreigon. I think is a really good setup here. Yeah, I think it's really strong against their team. I do want to bring Ceruledge, and then I think I want Ursaluna as my last. Entity's not bad either, but I think I do prefer like having offense, especially more against a Archaludon, the better. Setting up screens here is nice for my team. I don't know if I'm going to get screens up immediately. It really depends on what they lead here, because I do want Reflect for the Ursaluna, but light screens also, of course, very helpful for the Archaludon, the Pelipper. Very big threats. We're going to see the lead of Dragonite Hisui Typhlosion. Are you Scarf? Okay, they get to find out my items, which is Light Clay and Scope Lens. Do I have to Terra here? I might have to. I think I do. I think I'm just going to go for a Terra. I'm going to go for a Reflect. And I think I'm just going to Dark Pulse the Typhlosion. I'm still shocked that the Typhlosion is here, but I'm going to make sure that I get my screen up, and I'm going to make sure that I can KO the Typhlosion. So let's see. Assuming it doesn't Terra, of course, but we will bring out the Serperior. Let's figure out what you're going for. The Dragonite. A Terra here. What are you tearing? Typhlosion? Oh, Dragonite. Okay, that's fine. Terra Fairy. So it doesn't get like doubled up by Leaf Storm plus a attack. Makes sense. Are you going for Protect Typhlosion and Tailwind? Oh, it's Scarf. Yeah, okay. I had a feeling. That's why I Terra Watered. I'm like, this screams like a Scarf to me. So I went for a Reflect here. I get a Dark Pulse off into the Typhlosion. Pick up the knockout. So Typhlosion's gone. Their Terra's forced. Pretty good. Okay. What's the Dragonite going for? Scale Shot and Hydreigon. That's perfectly acceptable. All right, perfect. Obviously, it could be better, but this is still pretty solid, I think. I just don't know what their back is. All right, Hydreigon goes down. I think I'm just going to bring out my... Ursaluna and just try to do as much damage as I possibly can. Yeah, I'm just going to bring out Ursaluna. Because I have no idea Pelipper's coming in, but I think that Ursaluna is better against Pelipper than anything else. That is Farigiraf. Okay, so it's probably Farigiraf Ursaluna on the back. Do I need light screen? It depends on who the last mon is, right? I feel like it really just depends on who the last mon is. I could go for like Leaf Storm. I could go for light screen. I don't think I really need to glare here. I think I'm going to set up a light screen just in case for my Ursaluna. In case it's like Archaludon back. I'm just going to go for a Hyper Voice and get some chip. This could be like Helping Hand Scale Shot and Serperior. They actually go for the Scale Shot and Ursaluna. With that Reflect and how bulky Ursaluna is naturally, like it's just not doing any damage, which is actually really nice. Yeah, like look at how well Ursaluna is taking this under the screens, man. Although they do get 5 hits, so it actually is kind of a considerable chunk. Okay. Are you Trick Rooming here? I don't think you are, but we'll see. Light screen going to be set up. So now Farigiraf can't do any damage, really. Hyper Voice? Yeah, I think this was Trick Room, actually. Yeah, surprising that they went for Trick Room, but that works out for me. Okay. I have a few plays. I could self-glare my Ursaluna if I really want to, but I just don't see a point. I think I'm going to double the Farig. Yeah, I think I doubled a Farig. Actually, no, I tire down the Dragonite this turn, I think, because Farig can't accomplish too much in this situation. I don't know if there's like going to be an attempt for a free swap into Ursaluna. If they try to go for it, like I double dog dare them too, because there's no way you hard switch to Dragonite and Ursaluna. Farig I could maybe see, but it's so risky, right? If I click Leaf Storm into Hyper Voice on that slot, you just lose the game probably. I just don't think they can do any damage under the Trick Room that's meaningful in the next 2 turns. And by that point, I'll stall out the Trick Room, and then they're just going to have a really tough situation, I think. So we get a Hyper Voice off. Going to be the Berry on the Farigiraf. Dazzling Gleam plus Trick Room. It's probably, what, Helping Hand, and I don't know what the last one will be. Leaf Storm going to come out, pick up the knockout on the Dragonite, so excellent there. Like, I don't think they can win with their own Ursaluna, but we'll see. My goal here is to probably set up for the Ceruledge win. I do need damage into Ursaluna. I have no idea if they protect, though. I don't think I knock out. I think I just go for a Hyper Voice and I go for a Leaf Storm into Farig. Because, yeah, they protect here, which is fine. Do they protect? Okay, Farigiraf is protect. This is what I was a little bit scared of, but I still think we're in a good spot. Yeah, we should be in a good spot. I'm pretty sure we should be, at least. So I always threaten the Ursaluna with Leaf Storm. I could also swap if I really want to. Like, I could swap out my my Serperior to go out into Ceruledge on a Facade if I really want to go crazy with a read. I don't think it's a necessary read for me to win. I think it just depends. What did I click with Ursaluna the last turn? I didn't click Blood Moon yet. I think I definitely want to click Blood Moon into Farig. I think I just Leaf Stormed Ursaluna and I click Blood Moon into Farig. I can't let Farig stick around on the field. No Helping Hand, actually. Facade just going to come out. Not going to disappear, but Serperior, you have done your job, so excellent. I would like to KO the Farig and then set up for a Ceruledge win. Prison. Oh, to cancel a Hyper Voice. Okay, I'm really glad I went for Blood Moon then. I'm really glad I went for the Blood Moon. So goodbye Farigiraf. Yep, okay, Farig goes down. I can use priority so I can actually Vacuum Wave the Ursaluna. That's actually kind of massive. I think, I don't know if I guarantee to win here, but I think I'm in a really good spot to secure it. Because I do have Reflect. Earthquake shouldn't pick up the knockout into at least Ursaluna. I don't know about Ceruledge. They go for Headlong Rush. They take the -1. Last turn of Trick Room. I'm pretty sure I just... Oh, do I double Bitter Blade or do I go for Bulk Up into Bitter Blade? I think I go for Bulk Up. I think I go for Bulk Up and I think I go for Hyper Voice. Or... No, I Earth Power because Earth Power is technically stronger. Yeah. Because I do have a 10% chance for a special defense drop. Earthquake going to come out. Yeah, I didn't think... I didn't want Facade to happen in Ursaluna, so that's why I can't afford to protect Ceruledge. Just all out the last turn of Trick Room. I do get the Earth Power off. And I get the Bulk Up, and I think that just sealed the win because it looks like 2 Earth Powers is enough. Like, this Ursaluna Blood Moon has speed. We should always outspeed their own Ursaluna. We also had the Ceruledge as well that just was able to outspeed the Ursaluna once Trick Room was over. I'm going to double check to make sure, but Trick Room is over, it looks like. So we will go for a Bitter Blade, and we'll go for Blood Moon, I suppose. I don't know if Vacuum Wave is enough to KO. Otherwise, I would go for Vacuum Wave, but they're going to be forfeited. Really nice. I can't believe it was Scarf Typhlosion. I was like, you know, this could be Scarf Typhlosion. I guess it would make sense with Farig, right? Because he could go for it. And since they didn't have like the best forms of speed control other than Trick Room, I'm like, okay, maybe you could go for like Farig, Typhlosion, Helping Hand, Eruption, Mind Game. So that's why I assumed it was Scarf and went for the Terra Water. Looks like my read on that was correct. The Terra on Dragonite was a bit surprising, but it ended up really working out because they couldn't Terra at all. Granted, I don't think a Terra would have changed anything unless the Ursaluna had like Terra Ground specifically. So it can knock out my Ceruledge in that position. But even then, I think my own Blood Moon was able to win the game at that point anyway. So really nice. Blaziken, Dragonite, Porygon, Z, Kingambit, Clefable, Grimmsnarl. I'm not even sure what I'm supposed to be expecting here. Is this Nasty Plot, Porygon, Z? Z conversion isn't a thing in this generation. Alright, so we got some scary mons. I do like Serperior because if they start playing slow, the fact that Serperior can get Light Screen and Reflect Up would be really nice. I think I'm going to pair up probably the Ceruledge because I feel like Ceruledge is a pretty good lead opener with Serperior. It's just not really good in a Gambit, but I do have Terra Dark and I have a few ways to play around it. So I mean, that's my goal. Have the Bloodmoon Ursaluna for sure. And then I think it's the... I bring Sneasler. Sneasler's nice. It's not really necessary. I think I'd rather have Redirection in this game more than Sneasler, actually. Yeah. To make it easier for my Ceruledge. I mean, the question is it Haze on the Dragonite? Or is this just like coaching stuff like normal with Blaziken? Because they have a Dondozo answer and Clefable, so I don't think they need Haze on their team. And they probably have their own setup, right? I think this is probably... Unless this is special Blaziken, or maybe it's Blaziken is special with like Heat Wave or Spear coaching. They could be that set. I think they have enough answers for the Dondozo with Grimmsnarl. Clefable seems pretty good into Dondozo comps. We'll find out. But I'm probably going to play like this is in Haze Dragonite, because I would expect like just offensive Dragonites in general before, like either a Scale Shot variant or maybe Assault Vest. Lumberry is also possible. I think those would probably be the top Dragonite sets. The Fable Porygon Z versus Ceruledge Serperior. Okay. Download gets an attack boost, which is nice. I am just going to go for a light screen immediately, and I'm just going to go for... I don't think I set up. I think I can just go straight for the Bitter Blade, get damage as much as possible. Because they're probably just going to go for Follow Me plus the Nasty Plots. Yeah, Porygon Z gets Nasty Plot, Porygon 2 doesn't. Thank goodness it doesn't, by the way. Helping Hand coming out immediately, which is not what I anticipated. Okay. We get a light screen up, so we'll be able to tank. I think we tank an attack. Ice Beam. Okay, we should easily survive one. It's Choice Specs. That's not what I... Or Life Orb. I'm surprised I KO through a light screen, but alright. It's because it's an attack boost too. Get a good amount of damage to the Porygon. I guess I'm just going to bring out Indy. I get my own redirection up. They have Shadow Ball or Dark Balls? I have no clue. I think I'm just going to risk firing off a Psychic here. Actually, I'd probably want to Psychic the Clefable because I'm more worried about King Gambit switching in for the Porygon Z slot. I'm going to bulk up. Okay, that is not how I expected the game to go. With Light Screen, I'm pretty sure Entity can at least take one attack. I imagine so. I imagine so. But this is going to be a tough one without Reflect. They go for Follow Me, which is fine. Aeroblast, acceptable. Yeah, we tank it extremely well. They're going to faint to their own Life Orb eventually. Psychic going to come out into the Clefable. Really good damage, actually. Bulk up. Alright, we have one bulk up. I would like another, but I think it's time to go offensive against the Clefable in the long term, because I do need to get rid of Clefable. So I'm just going to go for Bitter Blade plus Psychic. Maybe I should target the Porygon Z slot realistically over the Clefable, at least with Bitter Blade, to cover for a King Gambit switch if they don't expect me to Bitter Blade now, and try to hard switch into King Gambit. You see a Terra. I'm scared of this Terra. Terra Ground. Oh my goodness, wait. Helping Hand Terra Blast is probably going to blow me back, isn't it? I am hoping it doesn't, but we'll find out. Porygon Z. I will respect that mon now. I will respect that mon now. Granted, maybe it's still winnable. Maybe Ursaluna can clutch up. I needed it not to be Citrus Stone to Clefable for a shot. Okay. Alright. Ursaluna coming in. Unless Ursaluna can clean up the remainder, which maybe it can, because they use their Terra. I think I just Follow Me and I Blood Moon, right? Yeah, I follow me and I Blood Moon to Clef. Or do I want to Clef around? Who's faster, Indy or Ursaluna? Probably the Ursaluna. Oh, actually, no, it's the Indy. Okay, no, I do actually want to go for a Hyper Voice. Yeah. Okay. So they're going to go for Helping Hand. I don't know if this is Helping Hand Ice Beam or Helping Hand Terra Blast. Either one. If Indy survives this turn, it'd be really good. I'm hoping this is Ice Beam. Okay, that's really good. Okay, because I should tank one. Yep, get the Citrus Berry back. Porygon goes down here. And then Hyper Voice gets some good damage to Clefable. It really just comes down to who's in the back, I think. Citrus Berry going to heal. Maybe I could come back. Maybe I can come back. Because they use their Terra, which means I can actually hit the King Gambit with Vacuum Wave, which is actually kind of big in the later parts once Psychic Terrain wears off. And I can Psychic the Clefable and go for Earth Power now. I guess the question is, what kind of King Gambit set are you? That's going to be a big question. Who are you bringing out? Who are you bringing out? Dragonite, not ideal, but I can play around it. What are the others? Blaziken, I'm okay with. Blaziken comes out, that's fine. I'm gonna follow me and I'm just gonna Hyper Voice. There's really no downside to it. It's probably just gonna be follow me in close combat. Maybe they go for helping in close combat. Maybe they have Aura Spear, which is fine too. Okay, if it's King Gambit in the back, I think this is very winnable. It's very winnable, I think, if it's King Gambit. We'll see. But I can't let Ursaluna take the fighting move. I could go for the Terra here if I really wanted to. Was Terra ever to play? No, I don't think so. I don't think it was ever to play. Did you follow me? Yep, anticipated. They do close combat. That's good. They lower their defenses as well. Hyper Voice. A lot of damage to the Blaziken. Ooh, I think there's like, what, one more turn of Psychic Terrain? So is this King Gambit? If it's Dragonite, I think it's our... If it's Dragonite, it's playable, I guess. It is Dragonite, okay. I do think that they have a guaranteed out win con, but it does rely on Scale Shot for them. I'm gonna go for my Terra. Terra Ghost is always the play. Go for the Hyper Voice here. Are they gonna go for the coaching or are they gonna go for the close combat? They can protect too. If they double protect, this is probably alright. I need to break the Multiscale and Dragonite and then hit it with a Blood Moon. Like, ideally, the throw here for them is to close combat and low kick my Ursaluna. So that's what I'm banking on. So Terra goes to Ursaluna. I don't know. We'll find out. Wait, they might have. They might have. They scale shot it. Okay. I am taking the scale shots. Why'd you crit? Why'd you crit? Why'd you crit? There's no way, man. Did I really just get double crit by scale shot? Aeota, Blaziken. Psychic Terrain disappears. How many turns of Reflect are there? Like one or... Oh, wait, no, I don't have Reflect. Wait, hold on. I either go for the Scale Shot Miss or... I think I always Blood Moon here because Scale Shot Miss is a loose content they have. Realistically, I think they should protect on the Blood Moon, but then I go for the Scale Shot Miss. Scale Shot... If they get 4 hit, maybe. I think I get knocked out. I think the game was winnable too. I think if I didn't get a double crit by the scale shot. I'm pretty sure I get a Blood Moon off. If I don't KO, I hope it's a vacuum wave range. I think it was possible, man. I think it was possible. I actually think Ursaluna could have pulled through, man. I actually think it could have. Because they didn't protect the Scout. If they just protected the Scout and went for the scale shot, I think it was very reasonable. I think like it was definitely reasonable for me to win. Although technically it was vacuum wave, the Blaziken the next turn, I suppose. Actually, no, Psychic Terrain didn't end till like the turn after, right? But they gave me that out though. They like gave me the out. All right, let's go over the games. In game 1, cool team, but Sneasel or Dire Claw prevented the Hawlucha from moving, which just made things a lot easier for me. The game was still a game though, especially with Ursaluna, even without the sleep, but it did help me. And I would have loved to know what the Hawlucha had as a flying move, especially for the Serperior, as I might have been able to tank one under Reflect, but who knows. In game 2, tricky matchup as Amoonguss in Rain is really hard to knock out, especially with Ursaluna sleeping on the job. But endgame Swords Dance Sneasel was able to clean up after my opponent didn't target it, and then finally getting paralyzed for me to win. In game 3, going for Blood Moon was a mistake looking back at it, as Zoroark was highly likely the lead. So I should have just went for the Hyper Voice twice instead, and maybe set up a light screen at the beginning would have allowed me both screens to be set up. But Ceruledge was still really too tough for my opponent to stop from sweeping them. In game 4, crazy team, which I thought I just lost to after getting crit through Reflect, which made me lose resources early, but the Terra Ghost was very clutch on Ursaluna. As I applied the pressure and survived both attacks barely, I was able to take the final knockouts to win. In game 5, now that I think about it, I really disrespected their Whimsicott if they had the option to go for beat up, but was able to force my opponent to target my Ceruledge, with Sneasel being able to continue applying damage without any threat. In game 6, my instinct on it being Choice Scarf on the Typhlosion was on point, and with the screen setup, I was able to do wonders with the Bloodmoon Ursaluna and Serperior under their Trick Room. In game 7, their Porygon Z was doing so much damage and did not consider the Terra Ground Terra Blast, which put me in an awful spot. Game was still somehow winnable until they got a double scale shot crit onto my Ursaluna that could have survived another one potentially and gotten the last knockout, but alas. Overall, Serperior was a fun option. Dual screens is definitely a unique take, but I loved the option with the glare as well, which provided some really cool speed control. The partner with Ursaluna Bloodmoon with that Assault Vest with both screens was great, as well as the Ceruledge I was able to set up with the screens, set up the bulk ups, and heal back with Bitterblade. Very nice. If you would like to check out the team, the rental code is on your screen, hopefully still available by the time this video is out. Otherwise, you could check out Audi down below in the description, as well as the details of the team down below. And of course, subscribe to the channel for more VGC content as always.